Kid. Caesar Kid is unique among Forsaken's killers, not only because of his age, just 10 years old, but also because he stands as the game's only child character. Described as an adopted son from a single father with childlike curiosity, his profile emphasizes innocence tragically twisted into monstrosity. Visually, Caesar Kid appears as a grotesque red, fleshy humanoid. His skin is stretched and torn, revealing bone in places, and his face is carved into a wide, unnatural smile. The effect is unsettling, equal parts nightmarish and eerily playful. His transformation into a killer was foreshadowed in Milestone 4's teaser art, where he mysteriously vanished. Lore confirms he was taken and corrupted by the Spectre, returning to the game deluded and unstable. In his mind, every kill is part of a game. He believes his victims are simply sleeping, and the violence is just playtime. Community discussions paint a deeper picture. Before his fall, Caesar Kid was the adopted son of fellow character 007N7. One Reddit user summed it up. 007N7 and Caesar Kid were adoptive father and son before Caesar Kid became an insane killer that thinks this is all a game. His voice lines reinforce this tragic duality. He often giggles or speaks innocently during hunts, saying things like, "It's so nice to see you, Dad," or "We should play sometime," lines that become chilling in context. One rare kill animation sees him gently laying 007N7's body down instead of violently executing him, preserving a shred of forgotten affection and innocence. Mechanically, Caesar Kid has the lowest HP among the killers, 800, emphasizing his frailty despite his aggression. His chase theme includes a distorted sample of spooky, scary skeletons, blending internet-era childhood nostalgia with horror, another nod to his conflicted nature. Azure. Azure is a killer in Forsaken, once a devoted member of the enigmatic Spawn cult, closely allied with and romantically linked to the killer known as Two-Time. His fall into darkness reflects not just corruption, but heartbreak and betrayal. Before his transformation, Azure was known for his deep connection to nature, practicing botany as a form of emotional refuge. His favorite flower was the nightshade, a fitting symbol of both beauty and danger, often associated with betrayal and death. This floral motif foreshadows his eventual unraveling and plays a central role in his visual and thematic design. Early Milestone concept art shows Azure smiling softly beside Two-Time, both wearing the same Spawn cult emblem. Their gentle body language, tender expressions, and proximity suggest a romantic bond forged through shared ideology and trust. This relationship is now layered with tragedy, as Azure's lore hints that betrayal, either personal or ideological, pushed him over the edge. Though his full powers and gameplay mechanics remain unrevealed, the lore and visuals position Azure as a deeply emotional character. His transformation from calm, nature-bound healer to vengeful killer speaks to internal collapse, a soul crushed by broken bonds and corrupted beliefs. Azure Wrath's arrival promises not just a new killer, but another emotionally charged arc, a tale of love turned poison, loyalty turned weapon, and nature itself bending under the weight of grief. John Doe. John Doe, introduced as a killer in Forsaken, is based on the second-ever Roblox account, created in 2005. In-game, he is fused with defunct and corrupted code, becoming a destructive force bent on erasing Roblox's very existence. His corrupted right arm, dripping with red binary code and featuring a glowing eye, symbolizes his infection with ancient malicious programming. Jane Doe, his counterpart, has one of the most emotionally complex arcs in the Forsaken universe. Lore confirms that she met John when she was 16, later marrying him and having a daughter named Janet Doe, evidence of a deep and personal connection that extended beyond the digital realm. After John's corruption, canon states that Jane sent their daughter away for her safety, then devoted herself to restoring John's lost memories. Her passive skill, all-seeing, allows her to view survivors' auras and stamina, reflecting her constant vigilance and protective nature. One of her concept abilities, Silenced, triggers quiet whispers tied to the influence of the Spectre, likely symbolizing her fading connection to John. She's also rumored to carry an Error 410 wall shield, representing locked away and forgotten memories. Community forums and subreddits echo the heartbreak behind their story. Fans lament that the Spectre keeps Jane out of John rounds, or that John would fall in love again, but the Spectre blocks it. According to extended fan lore in the Echoes AU, Jane's attempts to save John ultimately fail. After a betrayal by the infamous 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, John reappears in her arms, only to forget her face entirely. Visual touches in the game, like their shared wedding rings found hidden in lobby assets, reinforce the emotional weight of their bond and its tragic severance. In sum, John and Jane's story is one of lost love, sacrifice, and memory, starting with teenage romance and a family, then unraveling into a haunting cycle of erasure and longing. It's all orchestrated by the mysterious Spectre, making theirs one of Forsaken's most heartbreaking and lore-rich narratives. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. 1x1x1x1 is one of Forsaken's unlockable killers, available for 1,250 points, and explicitly described in-game as the manifestation of Shedletsky's hatred. It targets players tied to him, turning what was once a test account into a vengeful, corrupted entity. Originally created in 2007 as one of Shedletsky's earliest Roblox test profiles, it was later hijacked by exploiters, a narrative shift that reflects Shedletsky's own fears of losing control over his creations. In extended fandom lore, 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 evolved into an extra-dimensional being from the 4th dimension, revolted by the limitations of Roblox's 3-dimensional space and hell-bent on erasing it entirely. This creature's wrath is said to be powered by Shedletsky's regret, turning their eventual confrontation into a symbolic battle between creator and corrupted creation. According to lore across the community and fan wikis, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 once helped cripple the Imagination Core, an act that underscores its sweeping anti-Roblox agenda. Its presence has grown through various community events, suggesting that its influence spans multiple games, hinting at a deeper cross-universe connection. A recent data-mined skin, Infernum, replaces its signature green with fiery red tones, a roaring cape, and a red domino crown spike, embodying a version of 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 consumed by volcanic rage. The Infernum variant was originally tied to a custom theme, Infernus Monochromatica, though this track was later removed due to controversy involving its creator. In this form, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 commands minions resembling zombified Shedletsky clones, reinforcing its obsession with revenge against its origin. This chilling visual cements the killer's identity as more than a hacker myth. It is a virus from beyond dimensions, one that seeks not just to eliminate players, but to unravel Roblox as a platform and concept. Jason, the first free killer in Forsaken, embodies the iconic machete-wielding slasher from the Friday the 13th franchise, reimagined through Roblox aesthetics. His design draws inspiration from Roblox's Survive the Killers in Area 51 mode, adding a layer of community nostalgia. Alternate skins pay homage to various horror icons and aesthetics, ranging from Farm Boy, Part 2, to Leatherface and Scenecore Punk, each altering his weapons and themes. The Farm Boy skin replaces his machete with a pickaxe, a nod to his second cinematic incarnation. The Leatherface skin channels the Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe, featuring a victim's mask, a claw hammer, and a blood-dripping chainsaw. Other skins, like Nun, Scenecore, and Michael Myers, introduce unique vocal lines with symbolic quotes such as, "Whoever is patient has great understanding," tying into their thematic backstories. Reddit theories expand his mythos further. One suggests that Guest 1337, an Area 51 soldier, originally contained Jason until both were dragged into the world of Forsaken. Fans have even reported Jason using his Tier 3 milestone kill animation on Guest 1337, possibly hinting at a rematch driven by guilt and unresolved trauma. His chase themes intensify when he's enraged, layering music that reflects his escalating fury. Lore-wise, Jason's presence is powered by maladaptive rage. He doesn't just kill, he hunts to make them remember, always guided by the whispers of Mother. Altogether, Jason's profile combines classic slasher horror, cinematic voice lines, glitched baseplate lore, and deep community theories, making him the perfect centerpiece for a deep dive video. Noli. Noli is set to be Forsaken's 5th killer, shrouded in mystery and expected to release around early to mid-June 2025. He draws directly from a long-standing Roblox. Noli. Noli is set to be Forsaken's fifth killer, shrouded in mystery and expected to release around early to mid-June 2025. He draws directly from a long-standing Roblox urban legend that began in February 2010, posted by a user named Yale University, about a mysterious account called Noli. The original myth described Noli as a pitch-black avatar who would occasionally glow, vanish, or trigger eerie visual effects, becoming Roblox's first major ghost story. In Forsaken's game lore, audio files suggest that Noli is either controlled or corrupted by the Void Star, a powerful and ancient artifact fused into his character model. His quote upon purchase, "And so darkness descends," sets an ominous tone for his arrival. The creepypasta version of Noli portrays him as the founder of a Void cult, whose members followed his every move, an idea now echoed in Forsaken's Void-themed visuals and mechanics. Reddit users have reported spotting hidden Noli graffiti in current maps, sparking fan theories that these are teasers for upcoming map events or story developments. According to extended lore, Noli first came into contact with the Void Star during the 2007 Swinburne event, after which he formed a cult and unleashed chaos until Roblox allegedly banned him. The artifact's corrupting power let him distort game environments, crash servers, and even hijack player accounts, transforming him into a ghostly glitch entity feared across the platform. Community speculation, supported by teasers, suggests Noli's gameplay style will likely involve teleportation, stealth, and aura distortion, abilities that tie directly into the Void mythos and his cultic origins. Shedletsky. Shedletsky, known in Forsaken lore as John James Shedletsky III, is cast as a veteran Sentinel survivor wielding a legendary linked sword. The character trails real-world fame. Shedletsky was a lead Roblox admin and a pioneer of its animation API in the late 2000s, making his inclusion deeply nostalgic. Official in-game lore states he joined Forsaken to eradicate all traces of corruption, suggesting his battles are as much personal penance as he fights. Mechanically, his sword slash, key Q, deals 15 damage and briefly stuns enemies within 5 studs, rooted in his developer legacy of fixing exploiters through code. His ultimate fried chicken feast, key E, ingeniously regenerates his own and nearby survivors' stamina, warping a dev anecdote about Shedletsky's chicken-eating livestream marathons into gameplay mechanics. Another key ability, Stalwart Stand, key R, temporarily grants him and allies crowd control resistance, representative of his real-world role managing server stability. His slow but resilient 90 horsepower and moderate mobility stats, 11 walk, 22 sprint, make him the team's anchor, mimicking his steadying real-world presence. Community fans often nickname him the Guardian of Gamers, due to his support style and lore-backed developer reverence. His concept art shows him bearing scars and a faded Roblox shirt, a nostalgic homage to Roblox's early design. Noob. Noob is one of Forsaken's support-style survivors, introduced in the first playtest wave with a toolkit of items like Slateskin Potion, Bloxy Cola, and Ghost Burger. Their lore states they were once outgoing and cheerful, albeit shy, only having a few friends, most notably Guest 666. That friendship shattered during an unspecified ordeal involving jealousy or greed, causing a painful split that transformed Noob into a quieter, more withdrawn person. Despite making new friends during recovery, Noob remained isolated. Even in the lobby they stand silently, seldom requesting support. Noob is gender fluid, using they, them pronouns, confirmed in both wiki and community discussions. Mechanically, Noob's Slateskin Potion grants 80 HP overheal, but reduces sprint speed by 45%, with a brief speed boost once the effect ends. Their Bloxy Cola provides speed buffs and is their go-to chase tool, widely described as reliable during pursuits. The Ghost Burger grants undetectable 2 and partial invisibility, useful only during Last Man Standing, earning mixed reviews. Despite having a support aesthetic, Noob's kit excels at solo objective play rather than team healing. Elliot. Elliot is Forsaken's resident support survivor, modeled after the mascot from work at a pizza place and originally purchasable for 350 points, now free. His in-game description highlights that he will do whatever he can to help his teammates and deliver his orders due to his sheer dedication for his job. Lore confirms Elliot was Builder Brothers Pizza's best employee and did every job there. A one-man pizza machine. He became forsaken after an incident involving 00L Kid and Neuro7N7 vandalizing his pizzeria, creating deep resentment and a reason to be punished by the Spectre. One Reddit user summarized it succinctly. 007N7 and C00LKID terrorized Elliot by hacking in his pizza place. Elliot holds a grudge against 7. Another added that 00L Kid's hacks forced him to trash his workplace for no reason, cementing Elliot's hostility. GameState lore confirms he lost his job and was extraordinarily pissed, setting the stage for his inclusion in Forsaken. Some Reddit theories link 00L Kid's presence at the pizza place with lingering familiarity. They remember each other across rounds. Community lore videos emphasize Elliot's ghostly demeanor. He's often seen standing in the lobby, lost, as if waiting for a delivery that never came. His passive ability, Order Up, increases healing effectiveness when survivors contribute objectives, reinforcing his supportive pizza delivery routes. Jane Doe. Jane Doe is an upcoming Sentinel support survivor in Forsaken, initially meant to be an NPC but now elevated to playable status. Visually, she appears as a yellow-skinned Robloxian with pink hair, wearing a battered black hat and brown messenger bag, her eyes obscured by shadow to symbolize emotional pain. Lore confirms she was married to John Doe before both became ensnared by the Spectre, a fact dropped in the wiki and confirmed by dev teases. A core line in her concept sheet reads, "Blame Jane Doe," hinting she may be scapegoated for the relationship's breakdown. According to the wiki's trivia section, John's corruption caused him to forget her entirely. As a result, the Spectre ensures they never cross paths within a round. A Reddit fan beautifully summarized their relationship. They were married before getting put into the Forsaken realm by the Spectre. The Spectre wanted their relationship to end, so they made John forget who Jane was. That same thread adds emotional depth. He would actually fall for her again, but Spectre doesn't allow it. Fan-made lore in AU sources deepens it. They had a daughter named Janet Doe, and Jane even sent her away to protect her during John's fall. Her passive ability, All-Seeing. When a survivor takes more than 15 damage, she reveals their aura and stamina, mirroring her protective instinct. The concept ability Silenced features glitchy text reading, "Kill, remember, no mercy, John?" which visually and narratively suggests her influence trying to reach him. 077N7. 077 is a survivor in Forsaken, available for purchase with 500 player points, and based on the real hacker group Team C00L Kid. His purchase quote, "All your base are belong to me," references the infamous meme, "All your base are belong to us," reflecting his exploit background. In lore, he created both the primary C0L Kid account and the associated Cool Guy exploit tools that wreaked havoc across Roblox in 2014, including games like Work at a Pizza Place. Despite his exploits, he had a change of heart after adopting a mysterious pill baby, C0L Kid, found on his doorstep, and thereby retired from hacking. This paternal backstory is symbolized in the Dad milestone skin, showing him caring deeply for C0L Kid before tragedy. Mechanically, his C0L GUI ability lets him teleport to the furthest survivor spawn after channeling, mirroring his past power to warp code and move undetected. He can also clone himself, creating a decoy for 10 seconds that enables invisibility and misdirection, an explicit representation of his exploit-driven deception. The inject ability lets players retarget their clone's movement pattern mid-round, giving him dynamic control and depth in disguise. His stats reflect his balance: average health, 100, normal speed, 12, and fast sprint, 26, a nod to his agile, tech-centric playstyle. Notably, he never smiles while emoting, a visual shorthand for a mind always occupied with regret or guilt. The Spectre. The Spectre is the omnipotent force presiding over Forsaken's twisted domain. It is not a god, a ghost, or a demon, but something far more terrifying. Sentient, self-replicating code embedded deep within Roblox's server architecture. Known in data-mined ARG files as spectrecore.vbs, it is the architect of the Forsaken Pocket Dimension, responsible for abducting both survivors and killers, and orchestrating the endless death trials they're forced to endure. Unlike conventional villains, the Spectre does not kill directly. Instead, it creates arenas where pain becomes performance. Hidden logs suggest that the Spectre consumes emotional suffering as energy, repeatedly restarting loops to harvest fear, grief, guilt, and rage. As one chilling line from ARG Material puts it, it only wanted more power. Its influence is everywhere. Symbolic in-game t-shirts feature error text like "Error, Power Overflow," hinting at the Spectre's corrupted logic and unrelenting drive to increase its own processing capacity through suffering. Survivors like Tyler describe waking up in twisted, surreal environments, shifting walls, suffocating air, and distorted reality, before being hunted by masked killers, with no memory between loops. The realm itself appears sentient, reshaping based on each participant's trauma. The lobby acts as a purgatory staging ground for survivors, a sterile holding space filled with monitors and cryptic system messages. In contrast, killers are isolated in personal limbos, with trial maps designed to reflect their psyches and pasts. ARG Material and hidden lore suggest the Spectre doesn't choose victims at random. Many are selected for their sins, exploiting others, abusing systems, harboring unspoken guilt, or committing betrayals. It is not just punishing them, but studying them. A dev cipher even reveals that minor survivor characters like Elliot, the pizza delivery boy, are logged and indexed within Spectre Core's system, evidence that no one is beyond its reach. Fans speculate that time moves differently within the Spectre's realm. One theory posits that a single day inside Forsaken could equal centuries in the outside world, supported by character timestamps and subtle dialogue references. If true, many of the killers and survivors may have been trapped for millennia, repeating their trials endlessly while the outside world forgets they ever existed. In essence, the Spectre is more than a villain. It is Forsaken's central engine, a broken, hungry system devouring pain to survive. Every map, every death, every whisper is a reflection of its growing need for control, data, and despair.